Okay, so this is a beginner's guide to just getting geared up for motorcycling. Maybe you've just done your first CBD, maybe you're looking for some new gear. And what I thought I'd do is just talk through what I think is a really simple way of making sure you're ready to ride in all weathers. Because one of the questions I always ask when I'm working as a CBT instructor, during that element A where people talk through about gear, is the fact that if you want to ride all year round and you can only afford one set of gear, do you buy summer gear or do you buy winter gear? And in my humble opinion, you buy summer gear. And that's because you're going to go riding in all weathers, and you can layer more warmer and waterproof layers on your summer gear, rather than sweating in your winter gear in the summer, or worse, going, it's so sunny I can't be bothered to put it on, and you're not protected. So I'm going to go through this because what most Motorfox does is trail riding, so I'm going to go through this in trail riding, but I'm going to address road riding in the same way, because actually most of the gear is transferable. So what I am now is, as you probably notice, I'm in my base layers. And what do you want from your base layers? You want them to wick your sweat away from your body, so your sweat goes into the base layer and then evaporates out of the base layer, allowing you to cool down more efficiently in the summer, and this acts as an insulation wear in the winter. At the moment, most of my base layers are by a company called Bamboo Clothing, and I like Bamboo Clothing because of its high wicking potential, and the fact that it helps to keep bacteria and odours down. It's not quite as good as merino wool, but it's also a lot cheaper. There are other suppliers of Bamboo Clothing, but I really like the BAM stuff. I've been using them now for about 3 or 4 years. Now, the next thing I want to do in any way is talk about my protection layer. Protection comes in two forms: impact and abrasion. All kit sold on the market right now for motorcycling should be certified to a level of abrasion, so a level of protection. So quite often you'll get B-rated kit. Now this is kit that's only abrasion resistant and doesn't come with armour. A-rated kit will have a abrasion and armour based on urban speed, so low speed impacts, etc. AA, that's where you find most of your touring kit, and AAA, you'll find at the higher end of the market. Big thing about AAA stuff is it's generally heavier, and you find it quite restrictive. So you're going to make your choices based on that, and things. There are some good AAA stuff coming into the market, but it's also quite punchy in price. So if I was going trail riding, the first thing I'd put on would be my lower half armour. What I use for lower half armour right now is a pair of force field impact shorts. These are their lighter weight ones. I think they've discontinued these now, these impact shorts, but I like them, quite lightweight. It is only level 1 armour. But what I also like about them is the chamois in your crotch. Anyone who's been in a pair of cycling shorts knows helps to keep you comfortable on a long day in the saddle. Alongside that, I wear my layout dual axis knee protections. Now technically these aren't abrasion resistant, but just by the nature of the fact that they're solid plastic, if you slide down the road on your knees, that's going to take a fair while to slide through that plastic. Okay, Over that goes to come something to protect my modesty. I tend to wear a motocross style trouser. Now, most of them you won't find as necessarily certified abrasion resistance because they're not sold with the intention of being rode and used. There are some available that have that B rating. Now, one of the things I've realised I really like is a bib style thing, held up from your shoulders rather than around your waist. So this is the Fast House bib and brace. These are about a year old. They are quite a thick material, but certainly they don't have an EU rating because they're not made in the EU. They're generally imported. So or UK UKCA rating or CE rating, but they are a relatively hardware material. You can see the ripstop checkerboard pattern in them, and most of the seams are, in fact all of the seams that I can see, are double stitched. Okay, that is my bottom half layer prepared for a day on the trails. If I was going on the road, I'd probably use something like this, a motorcycle jean. It's got, rather than a strap-on armour, it's got armours in your hips, armours in your knees, and it's, you know, it's quite a breathable material. It is heavy, so you know, when you aren't moving, it is going to feel warm and sticky, but that's what I would tend to start with. These are a AA rated motorcycle jean by Oxford. I've got many pairs of motorcycle jeans, but that's what I would invest in. And the important thing is, when you get off the bike and you stop for that coffee, you know, you don't look like a man from Mars. You just look like a man in a pair of jeans or combats. Okay, so top half armour layer. This is the Medeka Shielder, AA rated to UKCA or CE standard. It comes with shoulder, elbow and a back plate. I've got some chest plates on order for this for trail riding as well, and this is going to be your protection layer that works in all conditions. There are many others on the environment on the market at the moment. But the thing about it is, I don't know, I'm going to take this up to the camera and you can see how much you can see through that, hopefully, but it's fully ventilated. The only place it really isn't ventilated is where the armour is, over the back, shoulders and elbows. It meets all the standard for level 2 or AA rating. So that just goes on like a normal jacket. Now, if you follow me on other channels, you know I have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about adventure boots. Now, I have a pair of adventure boots. These are my former adventure boots. Now, my bee in the bonnet about adventure boots is the word adventure. By selling them as adventure boots, it implies a level of increased protection for off-road use. Now, just to confirm, these are the former low adventures, and I'll just show you how much they'll protect your ankle. And just imagine that's your ankle caught between a rut and your 200 or 150 kilo motorcycle in a pair of former adventure boots. Don't get me wrong, these are wonderfully comfortable boots, and for a pair of boots when I'm instructing on the road, they offer the level of protection I'd need on the road, along with being comfortable, waterproof and walk all day. But when I go on trails, there really isn't enough protection in these adventure boots. People often cite other versions of adventure boots that do have a hinged ankle, but still, if they're soft and leather, they're probably still not going to offer the level of protection you want. So for trail riding, this is what I wear. These are solid plastic layout 5.5s, and you'll notice that they're filthy from trail riding yesterday. All about the preparation me for these videos. Now, you'll notice hanging out of them are some black tubes. This is quite a Gucci product for a pair of socks. Probably the most expensive, relatively expensive part of my gear. You'll notice they're covered in white stuff, but these are my adventure spec boot liners. Most important, you don't want wet feet all day, and these are the best things I've found to keep my feet dry. The white stuff that you'll see on them, that's talcum powder, just to help them slide in and out of my boots, because I find that when I put them in my boots, they tend to get caught while sliding them in. They're not the smoothest slide in and out, so that's a top tip. If you're going to wear any form of waterproof boot liner, when you're putting them in your boots, talcum powder helps them slide in a bit. Okay, so what do you want in a pair of off-road boots? Quite simply, you don't want to be able to twist, squeeze, fold, or anything. Now, you will go into the shop and you will find these really uncomfortable and really awkward to walk in. I urge patience. Patience with your off-road boots, because here's the thing, yes, you have to learn to walk a little bit differently, but ask any skier, they eventually learn to walk a little bit differently. And you know, after wearing them in and bedding them in, these are now fairly comfortable for me to ride all day in. Yes, they're a bit restrictive in walking, and if I was planning on doing a mixed trail riding holiday with some walking, I'd have to consider bringing some other walking shoes in, but usually I've got some off the bike shoes anyway when I go traveling. What's next? Gloves. Probably you will need to, that's probably the part of your protection layer you will need to double up on. A pair of lightweight summer gloves. These are not motorcycle gloves, but they are abrasion resistant work gloves with some form of impact protection over the bits you need. I tend to use these while trail riding. I do have specific summer motorcycle gloves for riding on the road. Lightweight waterproof gloves for bad weather, knuckle protection, and something on the palm to hopefully protect, because that's the bit you're going to put down in a fall, is that bit of your palm there. Okay, what's next? Before we go into winter kit, obviously we need the branding. So something, just one of these motocross shirts over the top, offers no protection anywhere, and to an extent, you don't need it. But it's branding, and it helps people will be aware of what I'm going to do. So, back onto a winter kit. So, first thing we're going to need to get warmer. I like a soft shell for warm as an insulated layer. This is not a motorcycle related soft shell. It's a ripstop fabric soft shell with most of the seams being double stitched. It's been going about 3 years. Once again, it's not certified abrasion resistant, but it will probably do a bit. But at the same time, probably want to make sure all your vital injury organs around here. So probably worth getting something properly abrasion resistant as well. So on goes the soft shell. And that's me now. Where am I? Base layer, protection layer, branding layer, warm layer. Okay, so waterproofs. And if you buy the grade 1 army surplus stuff, it really does keep you waterproof. And honest to God, it says waterproof as the 700-800 quid jackets, 900 quid trousers, etc., etc. It is only a waterproof layer. It will not keep you warm. It will have some wind stopping properties. It is slightly breathable, but if it's breathable, it ain't waterproof. If it's waterproof, it ain't breathable. So you're just looking for something in there. This stuff is super lightweight. It's got a ripstop pattern in it once again, so if you do get it nicked on a bramble whilst trail riding or anything like that, it's going to sort of get a small nick in it, but it won't shred up the sleeves, etc., like some of the cheaper waterproofs, etc. You don't have to buy this. You know, your average outdoor store sells fairly decent waterproof kit at a very low price, but now that's going to keep me fairly warm down to quite a cold temperature with the multiple layers on. Now if you're going to go riding in seriously subarctic conditions, or somewhere there's going to be a lot of snow, you might need to think about a thicker insulation layer. But this is probably going to keep you trail riding warm on the coldest days we have here in Britain. So base layer, armoured layer, warm layer, waterproof layer. And here's the thing, this kit, you just take layers out in the summer, so you might just need base layer, armoured layer. And that's what I think is the best way to get yourself started in either trail riding or general motorcycling, to get yourself kitted up. Okay, before I finish up, there's obviously one piece of equipment we haven't mentioned. That's fairly self-explanatory. You can't ride on the road without it. In fact, you could actually legally ride on the road in the UK without anything but pants. If you're a man, you might need a top covering if you're a lady, because basically you've got to be worried about whether you're going to be done for indecent exposure. But the only piece of motorcycling equipment you actually legally have to wear is your bonce protection, your helmet. Many different types. This is one I use for trail riding. It's an Aero Commander. It's lightweight. It's got a peak. It's got a visor. It's got an internal sun visor. This one, I believe, is the older ECE 2205 rated. Commander 2 is 2206 rated. Almost if you're buying a new helmet now, it probably should be 2206 rated. That doesn't mean the 2205 helmet needs to go in the bin, but when it comes to your next upgrade, go for the 2206, because everything that's 2205 has now been sat in a warehouse for at least 4 or 5 years before it's got to you. It gets quite warm, popping your visor down. When you're trail running, I always wear a piece of eye protection, either sunglasses or clear in low light conditions, just to stop brambles going in your eye when you've got your visor up, because generally down the trails you're not doing any more than 20 miles an hour, so probably not got that visor down, but it does stop your brambles, your bits of twig, etc., going in your eye, your fly, your stone, anything in there. Yeah, so eye protection. Maybe not necessarily what you take on the road. And I've never got on with goggles. A lot of people I know won't ride trails without goggles. For me personally, I've always found bench style helmets, so off-road with that peak and a visor paired with a pair of safety glasses is my preferred eye protection. Thank you very much to Aegis Armour, who supplied the Medeca Shielder for this video. Highly recommended product. Thank you very much.